get part, and then you, and I just find with the experience is the things that go down quickly and which are uncomplicated are always the best. And we listened to, we did a lot of tracks, and we listened to some of them a few years after we completed them. And these were things just put aside that we never actually released, which I have released since. But, and, I thought, why didn't we go down there? Why didn't we release those tracks? Why didn't, So my motto is simplicity now. And I'm just couldn't be bothered doing, I like doing the layers and the complications. It's also okay, but couldn't be bothered doing the amount of work. What we actually, I don't say it's work. I think the time we wasted by changing things, generally the first idea is always the best. And then you can just tweak it and make that a little bit better. So I think You Pretty Thing will probably go down that road, less complicated.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. And I read on the website, you did a little bit of work with Marillion, of course. I'm not sure it was to which extent you were involved with them. Or.
Well, I worked with Fish on the Tony Banks Still. So Fish was one of the performers in on the project Still. So he did a few tracks, and I did a few tracks, and Andy Taylor was there, and Nick Kershaw was there. So that's the association with.
That's very famous people that you just mentioned. Huh?
Yeah.
You're a lucky lady. You're a lucky lady to be, to have been involved with all this. People, of course.
Yeah, it's actually cool. It was a very lovely time in my life.
Yeah.
That's true. I have actually been blessed with meeting some really great musicians. Yeah.
Looking back at your life now, is any people that, two questions, you wish you have been a part of either touring with them or doing an album? And then part B of the question, who you like to have, play again if you can go back in time, and that you have great memories, man. I wish that band extended the tour, or In Excess, you mentioned In Excess first.
Yeah, that's on top of my list. That one is just that's actually heartbreaking for me. So who would I like to? I had a passion. I always loved to have worked with Prince, because I just found him such a genius. And even not particularly working with him, but just watching him in the studio and watching his creativity was something that I was, wow, this guy's great. Another person that I just love how he writes is Martin Gore from Depeche Mode. I'd love to do something with him, but of course, he doesn't do that. He's focused predominantly on what he does, but that's good. We can all have dreams. And who I'd love to tour with? Who would I love to tour with? God, I don't know. There's probably so many people. I loved Blondie. I would have loved to do stuff with Blondie.
Yeah.
I even loved, Kate Bush back in the, these are women that inspired me to actually sing. Lisa DeBello was one that really got me singing, and she's a Canadian singer. I don't know if you've heard of Lisa DeBello. She's amazing. I'm going to Get Close to You was something that when I heard that track, I just thought I want to sing like her.
Yeah. I can picture yourself with Blondie and the B-52s.
Yeah, I saw her actually a couple of years ago here in a concert, and I loved her. She's older and just absolutely gorgeous, and you close your eyes and it's just Blondie. It's just yeah. She was really, really cool. I'm probably going to regret. There's so many people that I admire and I would love to do work with, but I just can't think of it at the moment. It's just too many.
Have you ever seen Prince in concert as well? Yeah, have you?
No.
Yeah, I never saw him. I don't know why, but it never worked out for me. And the city that I was living or going to school at the time, and obviously, was one of the greats. The three people that I wish I could go back in time and see them are Prince, David Bowie,
Right.
and George Michael.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like the three of them, I don't know, passed away about 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years.
I mean, David Bowie, of course, that's one of my, grew up.
Unbelievable guys, unbelievable people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, getting back to Prince, the closest we got to him was to his drummer. What was his name? Dr. Z or Anyway, the drummer, we actually met him because there was a possibility of him producing our second album, the other ones.
Yeah, wow.
And of course, we milked him for any information about Prince, but he was zipped. He didn't say much. It's just very interesting to work with and a genius, and which he was. He was great.
The guy was was way ahead of his time. There are people that are way
just amazing in every way.
Yeah, and also David Bowie was the same. I mean,
that was
a very gifted musician and person too.
Absolutely.
I want to bring your attention to, of course, the album "Awake" that was recorded in Berlin and London with produced by Gary Jones from Mode also, and
on my album.
That's your album, right? So feel free to elaborate. I want to mention 2 tracks here. Weird Feeling, how the composition came together, and that was a great album. I enjoyed. I listened to the second time last night on Spotify. I was preparing for this interview, and I really like that tune. And the other, feel free to elaborate on what comes to your mind with that track.
Well, I have to. I mean, I haven't got the tracks in front of me. I co-wrote a lot of those with Hans Hafner, a friend of mine, and so Weird Feeling. Oh no, I think. Oh God, and a few of them with Andreas Schwarz-Rosinski, Blackie. I can't remember who's what though. I need to. Sorry.
That's okay.
I've released a lot of tracks and I just can't remember. There's so many people I've worked with. I just get mixed up with who did what sometimes. But Weird Feeling was, Gareth did a fabulous job on that. I presented that one to him, and he took the bass and he just did a fabulous job with that. It was just one of those pieces that he really put the cherry on the top. Just a cool track. My husband actually did the video for that.
Wow.
If you actually managed to see the video, have a look at that. That's it took us about a week and a half to put that one together. There's a lot of cutting out and a lot of work, but it was great. It was really, really quite cool. And Gareth was so, I mean, I'd love to work with Gareth again, and particularly where our vocals are concerned. He's just brilliant with vocals. He just knows how to get the best performance out of you as well.
Really?
Yeah. He's great. And I mean, he's a good vibe guy, and he's an ideas man. And it's something which was also kind of special in that whole feel with Awake. And yeah, that was, I think it's only 5 tracks on that one. It's an EP, and I still want to finish that.
Gotta do it. The other track I think it's called Locked In. It's
Locked In.
Yeah. Very, very, I like that one as well. They're different, obviously, but
Cool,
very upbeat. And you did well with that album, right? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Reasonably well.
What I find you don't do well with anymore, if you're talking about financial, no, well, that isn't the case these days. I don't know. I'm really lazy in this way, where I put things out there and then I'll just move on. And I tend to ignore unless you're being bombarded with interviews and TV shows and things, which I wasn't. So I don't know if it did really well or not in that respect, but I'm always happy to hear that people like it. So
Yeah. Well, in Spotify, right? You don't get, even if you are very, very big, right?
yeah,
You don't get that much money, but you gain the exposure to that's kind of
sure.
free advertising, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you need to have like, I don't know, like 100,000 hits a month to get, I don't know, $20, right?
yeah, it's ridiculous.
So you get the exposure. Like me, I'm always looking for new musicians, always looking for new people.
Right,
I have a big collection, but still I'm looking for the new thing, the different way to sing it. And as opposed to Bandcamp, in Bandcamp, you put your album and you get paid, I don't know, 90 cents of the dollar because they only
yeah,
take 10%. So you can do, many artists that are not that big, they sell the stuff in Bandcamp, digitally. People
right,
can download the stuff digitally, and then you get a check at the end of the month, which
yeah, yeah,
for me, I want downloaded the file to my computer is okay, but I like to have the real thing.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
get
mean,
it. And
yeah,
let's hope that it stays like that because,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, vinyl's back in, people love it.
yeah, of course, yeah,
Everywhere we go at friends' place, they got so many vinyls
yeah, yeah.
I got a pretty crappy record player, and we need to update that one and get something really cool because I've still
Oh,
got all.
you are in the capital of the world, in Berlin, man.
I know,
So many,
yeah,
so many.
it's a shame.
There in Berlin, there's so many. Of course, I never been in Berlin. There's
Yeah,
so many record shops, so many
yeah, yeah,
places that you can listen to great music, uh,
yes.
and many venues. So you gotta get a new record player there,
I
man.
do, I do, I do. I've said it, so now I have to do it.
I will email you in a month from now, tell if you bought it.
Ask. Did you
And
get it yet? Yeah, right.
yeah, and I will when I'm in Germany, I will bring you some records. So I have
Okay,
so much
excellent.
stuff that I would never be able to listen to everything because it's
Yeah,
crazy, like an addiction. You keep on
yeah,
buying
well,
stuff, and
it's
people
a
sending
passion, I
stuff.
guess. It's nice. It's
It's,
cool.
it's a passion. Yeah. Hopefully I will live to be 150 years old to being able to listen to all the stuff that I buy because it's crazy. Another track that I listened to Spotify for a different album from Deal Break, it was called Heaven.
Heaven. Yeah,
Yeah, it's different obviously, but I like that.
yeah.
It brought memories to me.
Oh, that's nice.
You
Yeah,
know some
cool.
you know some stuff are more appealing to me than others, and that
Sure.
resonated with me. So
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
you
Yeah, it's funny how tracks can really evoke. I mean, it's not funny. It's pretty common and very normal. How some tracks can evoke various different emotions, and it certainly brings back memories. When I listened, something I was actually on YouTube, and you've got the different tracks coming up to listen to, and there was a
yeah,
piece
yeah.
there which was from the other ones called Dark Ages, and it was one of our B-sides, and I thought, oh God, I haven't heard that in years, so I clicked on it, and I just thought, why didn't we ever produce this for the album? It's really, and of course it just brought back all these memories, and it was one of our A&R guy back at Virgin, John Wooler, mentioned, he said, that was one of the best tracks. Why didn't you guys ever record it? But all those memories came back. And I mean, it's special. And if you want to really go back into some sort of a good mood, then listen to a track that you were listening to when you were having a great time in your life, because it will
Absolutely,
bring you
right.
back there.
Yeah.
It's
Is
great.
any way you guys planning on with your brothers do like another album from the other guys, or
From the other ones,
no, or it's not on the plan?
it's kind of complicated. There were 6 of us. I mean, well, there'd be still 5 of us still have contact. And I don't know. It's a lot of work. You're working with all these different egos. And now that we're older and developed, we're probably all so set in our ways. It might be tricky. Could be difficult. I'm sure we could, we'd love to tour again, or we'd love to do some live
Performance,
gigs. And then we'll see where it comes from there, you know, or what would come from there. But I'm still working on getting the band out there and a few gigs, and that might just happen. And who knows? Never say never, right?
That's right. Yeah. You mentioned ego. Sometimes, you know, you need to forget. I mean, if you guys have done well in life, you need to forget about the egos and then have fun, and out of fun and no pressure, no need for money or whatever, something good may come out, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And start with, you know, 3 gigs and then put some track together, studio, and before you know, in 6 months you have an album and you're touring. You know,
well, that's true too. Absolutely.
Easy for me to say, but that's.
Well, no, I mean, you're right. You're right. People just, you know, the fact that we've stayed friends and that we're, you know, we're all connected. There is, you know, really, why not?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
It's probably just everyone finding the time and putting that time aside to, you know, to be very focused on trying to whip up something creatively that we're all happy with, you know.
To be worth it, right? So life is not complicated. People are the complicated ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Including myself.
Well, we all are. I mean, you know, that's part of it. You know, we need to always question, as I said, question the narrative of everything that's going on, and, you know, question ourselves.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
We don't get boring.
That's what's supposed to, but being human is all about, right? So.
Sure, it's part of it. Yeah.
Do you miss in general? Do you miss touring and playing live music in front of an audience? You mentioned the adrenaline.
Yes, I do. Yep, I really do. And I actually love it. I love, as I said, I love the adrenaline, and I love, you know, to tell you the truth, it's shocking, but it's true. I actually love the performance on stage more than I love the singing. You know, I never really saw myself as this big singer. Yes, I have a voice and I can do this and I can do that, but the actual performance and playing a character and putting myself into each song and playing that character is what I really get off on more.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, we all have our different ways of working, so that's my secret.
I got you. Man, you are very, looking back at your life, you are very prolific in terms of studio output that you have produced, and with so many people you have play or work or tour with. What's Jayney's motivation to do things? What, when you wake up every morning or every weekend to put a new track together or write some lyrics and try to go to the studio and little by little, what's the inner motivation for you?
Well, at the moment, it's a little bit lacking. So I'm just, look, it's, you know, earlier years, it was just to get the deal, get the next deal, get the this, get the support, get the, you know, get on tour. That was my motivation. It was just something I loved to do. I always I work very well with people. I really enjoy that. I'm not a very, you know, I'll do tracks by myself, but I actually really enjoy, you know, I'm not a brilliant guitarist. I'm not a guitarist at all, you know, and I'm not a brilliant piano player, but there are people that are, and I love just working with that creativity.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that. And, you know, I'm not a very good programmer. I'm very limited and very, you know, and yeah, there's programmers out there that just can just put things together in seconds and they're brilliant. So I love that, a collaboration. I guess it's just, you know, like you're passionate about what you do. And when my passion's there, I'm just, you know, full speed ahead. And that's really how it works for me. You know, and if someone calls me in on a project, and especially, you know, if I do the project, then I'm really into that new, you know, it's like painting a picture, really, isn't it? You're just there and you're doing it. You do the best job you possibly can. So that's my motivation, just being triggered by things. You know, something you like, something you see. going back, I've listened to a few really, really old tracks that we did. I started out with a very low voice, and then I went into my mids, and I went to loads of highs and classicals. And now I'm thinking, I want to take it back to the beginning, and I want to start doing working with my low voices again. So, it's just what inspires you at the time. And that's what I really go off. That's what I kind of get off on.
You don't get emotional going back to stuff that you did. You're at home drinking a glass of beer or
Sure, I do.
a wine or whatever you do, and listen to
Sure.
stuff you did in the early 20s, and
Absolutely.
you get emotional stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah. Even I wrote a song mixed with a bottle of gin. It was literally that. I wrote the song drinking a bottle of gin. So that was inspired, not a bottle, but, my emotions and what that actually evoked at the time. So, yeah, absolutely. Melancholy, if I've written songs about people that have passed or family or the way things were, life was a lot easier when we were younger. And of course, I came from a big family, and it was great. It was fun. There's just, of course, I'm very, very emotional when I go back on tracks, and it brings you back to that time. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. And so I have another two questions. So what are your plans for the, I don't know, next 6 months
In the future.
in the future, right? So you any gigs, or you mentioned a couple times, or touring, or doing putting some truck together for a new album, or reuniting with the other people that you can play? What's new for you? What is coming up for you?
Well, as I said, I would love to try and get a tour with the other ones organized.
Yeah,
but, we need to because we're so pedantic, we need a good 6 weeks for rehearsal, because we like doing that. We like being really rehearsed, and we like to have it, perfect. So, getting everyone and pulling them in for 6 weeks to do rehearsals, it's kind of hard. But anyway, never, we don't need to give up on that idea. The other thing is, I had dinner with Blackie Andreas, and we're going to sit in the studio and brainstorm, just be creative. That's coming up soon. And the other thing is, I would like to put a bit more out there, put it out there about acting, finding a few small roles, just fun. I'd love comedy more than anything, but I got ideas. I got ideas.
Well, I hope it works out. Feel free to mention your website and where our listeners can either buy your music or download the music, besides Amazon and all the big places.
Website, Jayney Klimek, is it JayneyKlimek.com?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Okay.
That's it. It's pretty simple. And I think all the links are on there, where one can buy or where they can go. But you mentioned this Bandcamp thing. That's something that I actually have to look into.
Yeah,
and
it's very good.
Yeah.
And as I say, so the big difference once you because most of the musicians, of course, the big known people, they don't need to do that. But for everybody else, and once you open an account, you need to I don't know, upload your stuff digitally, and then they do everything for you, and they only take 10%. So the 90% of the fans come to the artist.
Right.
It's not as the interface is not as sophisticated, obviously, like Spotify, when you can search within lists and do recommendation and machine learning algorithms too. But it's very good. A lot of musicians use that. They do well. Some people can sell 10 albums a day, some 100 a week, or whatever. It's a way to make a little bit of money, extra beside all everything else.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's also probably just good to get on all the platforms as well.
And YouTube, also your social media. You know, people, some
I'm
other
lazy with
musicians.
my social media. I'm extremely lazy with my social media. I'm kind of quite a private person. So, you know,
But you can, the closest you can do, Jayney, without, you know, going into personal stuff, you can open a channel, right, on YouTube, a little by little, start uploading your tracks, your videos.
right, sure.
Yeah, and you know, if you get any number of subscribers, you need a little bit of money or so. So it's good to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. As I said, I'm lazy. I'm lazy with social media. But I mean, of course, it's what it is. It's this day and age now.
That's the day and age. Whether people like it or not. I don't like that people don't buy CDs or vinyl like I do, but young people, they only see data. They don't know anything else, right? So
sure, absolutely. Okay. Maybe that should be one of my objectives in the future.
You need to write it down. Goal for 2021.
To sort out my social media.
Spotify, Facebook, and all the stupid stuff. I don't like any of the social media. That's crazy. But
it's kind of a little bit cringeworthy sometimes. So, yeah, you know, I love word of mouth more. I get really off on the fact that maybe someone hears this or that, or, you know, you come across, somebody comes across you or they like you, you know, but you're right. I mean, if you need to actually get out there and be known about, you need to social media.
Yeah, well, if I'm, you know, if I'm in Berlin soon, I hope to go there, to go back to Germany.
Oh, look, absolutely.
We'll get together for dinner or beer or drink, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you like Chilean wine? You know what I'm talking? Have you ever tried? You like wine type of person? You're a more wine type of lady?
Yes. Yeah.
Try some wine from Chile.
I do.
They're very good quality, very expensive, very good quality.
Okay, I do try. I have tried a lot of Chilean wine, and I'm predominantly a wine drinker. I don't drink beer, you know, not really. Anyway, but where one would think in Berlin is it's a beer town, but
for me, I'm the other way around. I'm a beer type of guy, no wine. Never try wine, although I came from Chile. But
really? But then you're plugging wine.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I want to talk Chile to the map to the world, and so when I was in Chile, I didn't drink much, and then when I came to the United States, I began hanging out with American kids, you know, at engineer school, and we're drinking beer and pizza and beer. That's what we did at the time.
It sounds like a good mixture, beer and pizza.
Beer and pizza, and but of course I have evolved from that. There's a very good band that's going to be playing they're doing it's one of the bands that I really like them. They don't come here. They're doing a gig in Berlin, in Munich. And then I don't know.
The German band?
No, it's Hoover Phonics. You know them?
No.
They're from Belgium. They're doing 3 cities: Berlin, Munich, and I forgot the other city. One day after, I may in early October, if I remember. I may fly that for 4 days and see them, because they don't come here to the United States. That's one of the bands that they don't come here, so I need to go.
Right.
And then so maybe I will email you, and we'll probably get together for a wine or beer or whatever.
Absolutely. I'd love that. That'd be great. Actually, just to end this, there's one of the other bands that I really, really love, Sigur Rós.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But Sigur Rós, they are from Iceland, right? They're very Sigur Rós is very well known, but there are many bands out of that country that are into that kind of music too. I don't know, maybe that country is it's being isolated, in terms of geography, and they do a lot of introvert stuff. Sigur Rós is very, very peculiar stuff. I try to get a hold of them. So if you know somebody, Who can put me?
I don't, I'm afraid. I don't know.
Are you in touch with any of the Tangerine Dream? How often do you see? I want to try to get a hold of Jerome and
Okay,
then
yeah.
Linda, if you can, if you can put me in touch with, especially Linda.
I think Linda I saw not so long ago. I can actually probably just send her a message saying that, yeah. With Jerome, yeah, I can probably do the same.
Yeah, Jerome is, I like of course, after his father passed away, he had done a lot of work on his son. He's very, very good. And I have interviewed a lot of Germans, guy that play early music, people associated with Peter Baumann and Klaus Schulze and
Right.
Manuel Gauci and all these geniuses are there. So feel free to listen to when you have the time. If you have the time, listen to that interviews. Great people for coming out of Germany, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the message. It was very nice talking to you, Jayney. I will send you a link shortly, and then we'll stay in touch. Appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
Have a great, wonderful day today.
You too. Take care.
Thank you. No problem.
Bye.